And here we are back again. We are streaming on my creative world again. And we have made quite a bit of progress on this. I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little bit funny. I do have like a little bit of a cough, and I'm a little bit like congested in the nose, so it's making my voice sound a little bit funny. But it's me, I promise. So let's have a look at this thing. We started with the front. We did this build here. So I've done quite a bit like not streaming. And the reason for that is that I want to get this out on Patreon for people to download by like October. And we're already like we're already very close to October. But I think people will enjoy this for Halloween. So I have been working on this in just like my downtime because it's such a big build. There's no way that I were going to get it done with just 2 hours every now and again weekly on a stream. So I've had to come in here and kind of like work on this. And the hardest thing was getting the shape down. Like the amount of times that I've built something and then had to start from scratch because it wasn't in scale with everything else is just ridiculous. And I think that's what's taken the longest. Like I built all this bit here and then I realized that is not right. I'm going to have to start again. So we started again. And just being able to do things like get these arches right. And there was only one really way to do these arches where they looked like they do in the show. And that kind of like sets off the scale for the rest of this build, for the rest of this little building here. And then this little building had to be a certain size, so I had to kind of upscale the rest of it. Now, one little hack that I've done is this building right here at the back in the pictures and on the show is very similar to this one right here. So all I did was copy it over and change the little details that are different. Like there's a door here and a window here, and it's just a little bit different. And I also managed to do, so we've done this little clock tower here, and this is going to be like spoilers now for the show, but this is actually and you can see on the like posters and stuff of it, this is like kind of exploded, and I think this was here on season 1 as well, but it was kind of like it had broken, like there'd been an explosion. So I was thinking of doing that at the end when like it's all finished, like the build, and maybe see if we can get it to look like it's been struck by lightning or something. And then this little bit here will be probably the most recognizable, even if people haven't watched Wednesday, or if you're still in the middle of it, this is kind of like the bit that will be recognizable to you. The window with the colours on one side and the dark colours on the other. And again, this is about scale here. So I was kind of forced to do a certain scale because of how we've done the rest of the build. It needed to make sense from all angles. So for example, if you stand here, in some of the pictures, you can just see this this building here. You can just see it. And there needed to be a gap here because there's a little courtyard down here. And it was, so I was kind of forced into building this in like a certain way. But I think it turned out nice. I couldn't put in the exact detail of the web on the window, again because of scale, but I think people know what it is, and I think it turned out okay. And then we have these little gargoyles. Again, scale has forced me to do them this small, but I think it looks okay. Now, this bit right here is something that I was struggling with for a few days because this is like an octagon kind, not an octagon, hexagon, I don't know, whichever one has 5 sides, hexagon. And yeah, it was really hard to like make sure that these windows were faced the right way, and then to also kind of like, because it's not like on the show, these here are not all the same size, and I couldn't like do one wall and then copy it over. So this has kind of like been taking a really long time just doing this roof here, and I'm trying my best to go off of pictures and things like that. And this roof needs to be connected to this roof, and then there's another roof along here. This roof is shorter than this roof, and it's really taking like just the longest time. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah. So I rewatched Wednesday season 1 and season 2 just so that I could take a bunch of like screenshots and things like that. Hey, welcome in. Tanny Kemp? Did I get that right? So we are just working on this now. So there's lots of like little different details that we need to kind of like get this right. And like I said about the scale thing, kind of like stuck doing things a certain scale, but it's really getting massive now. It's really getting big. And there's not like a ridiculous amount of detail in this build right now because I really wanted to concentrate on like getting it all right, because there's so many different little buildings. Like all this here will be filled in with buildings right here. And but this again was the most important part for me to get right. Hey, welcome in, Cot. How you doing? Okay, right. So let me just, I'm just gonna pause because I might have to pause every now and again because I'm using like reference pictures from the show. So I do need to kind of like try to get this right. Yeah, so like I said, getting this to scale and getting this right is kind of like more important to me right now than it is to get the, like, to make it look good. Like some of these kind of feel a little bit basic and not really my kind of style. But if I'd have added anything else to it, it just wouldn't have been recognizable. That makes sense. So you have to kind of like sacrifice that to get the build to look how you want it to. So let's fill all this in here. Just use the smear tool. Right, so looking at this, just zoom in on my picture here. Right, so this goes from here. So it goes along here and then it comes out here again. And then there's 2 windows here. So we could kind of just maybe copy this. Like so. And then Control R, maybe. And I'm going to have to turn shaders off, I think. Right, okay, yeah, that didn't copy that. Make sure we get it all in. We get all the bits in. And then we can scroll and Control R. Just do something like this, maybe. Right, because it's not that big going down. It's kind of like this. Okay. Maybe one more. Right, so now we've got this wall here. And we just need to add in the windows. We've got a few more windows. It's more of like these curved ones. Oh, but they're like a little bit squarer. So maybe we take this. And then we just kind of follow it down to another level. Decide where we want the next level to be. Which kind of feels like it's a bit further down. That feels actually kind of good. Right, okay, so we're going to pop that there. And then we're going to try to change it a little bit because it does feel like a little bit more curved at the top and then like square at the bottom, these ones. And that's all we really need to do to like kind of make it a little bit different to this one up here. Right, and then there's kind of like a bit of a... There's a bit of a wall up here, and it kind of looks like this one that's kind of like just dropped down. So I'm going to clone this as well. Because why not? If you've got it, I mean, I've already made it, so why not reuse it? Right, and it's kind of goes, it's a little bit weird, but it kind of goes like there. There, maybe. Yeah, like there. And it kind of goes along, and then there's another bit up there. Okay. Right, and then we'll copy this window again. And it's been, like, you'd think it would be quicker because I'm doing like a lot of copying and I'm able to use like a lot of the stuff that I'm already using, but no, it's really taken a long time. Because when you look at the build, a lot of stuff is just like slightly different than the others. So it feels like you sometimes like making like a brand new window. Right, I think that goes there. And then we have these, I've just been using just the normal sandstone to kind of like cut out these layers here. And I'm trying like really hard to match it up with the pictures. And then another one is like here. It's a pleasure to meet you. How are you doing? Hello, welcome in, Elite Wolf. I am trying to replicate as best I can Nevermore Academy from Wednesday. And it's taken quite a long time. It's quite a big build. Like if we look at the map, sorry, you can see. I'll have to scroll out a little bit. You can see like how big this build is. But yeah, we're just kind of like trying to replicate it as best we can. Okay, so actually, strangely, it strangely looks like this is kind of taken. Time is everything. True. True. Right, so it kind of looks like this goes all the way to the end here, and I'm not really sure why, but we're going to do it anyway. And I'm trying to remember as well while I'm making this build that this actually... Sorry if this upsets anyone, but this build doesn't actually exist in real life. It was edited. So the more I look at the build, the more I'm realizing like, huh, that doesn't make sense. Or, hey, they've just copied that little bit. And obviously they're just kind of like doing what I'm doing where they're just copying bits where they can. To make up this really grand, large build. Okay, and then... So there's definitely some bits that just do not make sense. I think that's like that a little bit. Bit more drop down. Right, and then we'll just kind of like copy this over. Oh, is that what that is? Okay. Ah, I fell. Thank you. I kind of like, sometimes it's really nice to copy a build like this, like, because I'm copying from like a real life thing that exists, kind of. Well, you know, like from a TV show. So sometimes it's really nice to just try to get things as accurate as possible, rather than having to come up with something myself. It's two very different ways of building, for sure. And this doesn't really make sense to me, but this is what this is. So I don't know why this would be here. Because there's not even a space for anyone to like come out. It's not like a balcony, it's just a little bit of railing that's along here that's kind of random. And then I think we can just do this. Like that. And then we have another line that's down here that kind of cuts off this, and then there's a door here with some stairs. Like, I think this might just actually come out a bit here. Hello, welcome in. Cubidato? Cubidato? I try my best to get names right, guys, but yeah, I'm not very good at it. Okay, so this little bit here is messed up because I used a copy and I did a copy and flip, so we just need to fix this. So this window here is probably in a good place. I just need to remove all this and kind of like hide my mistakes. So yeah, I'm trying very hard to get this build done, because I'd really like to put it up on my Patreon for like people to have this build in October, because I think people will really enjoy that. Because when I've done like Halloweeny builds in the past, or like spooky builds in the past, they always go crazy in October for some reason. Well, not for some reason, understandably. People like Halloweeny stuff. Right, let's fix that. So that's that window fixed. And then I think we need to... I'm going to use my smear tool here to smear this and this along here. So we now have a connected wall. And then we'll take half of this, connect that, and then scroll it over here. There we go. I know some people are kind of against using tools in Minecraft, but honestly, and I know that there are some people that can do it, but honestly, I just wouldn't be able to do a build this big it's just time, really. I would definitely like lose patience and not want to do it anymore. Can we fit another window in here? Yeah, I think we can. There we go. Up your uncle. I can build, but I'm not that good at building. I'm a somewhat good builder. Hey, that's how everyone starts though, right? Like somewhat. Also, I think it's relative to the kind of person that you are. Like I would say I'm a somewhat good builder because I know that there's a lot of people out there that are kind of like better than me. And oh, I don't know. I guess it also like depends on how comfortable with praise you are and how clearly you see yourself as a builder, if that makes sense. Because what some people would call a really good builder is what some people would call a decent builder or an okay builder. And also practice. Practice like plays a massive part of it as well. I'm just gonna get rid of this whole bit, I think. And then just smear this up. You're more of a PvP person. So yeah, that's something that I cannot do. I'm terrible with PvP. Copy this. And we'll do it over here as well. If I do that, it's not. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. So we've got another little thingy there. And we'll just, I don't know, we'll just do that. Because some of these have got like what's clearly a grey line here, and then some of them have got like what's more of a cream line, and it's really hard to differentiate the difference. But I've done a lot of grey here. So maybe it would be better if I swapped this out for the grey. Like this. Also gives it just a little bit of depth as well. I've been doing PvP when Minecraft first came out on Xbox 360. I remember Bed Wars on 360. I actually felt like I was okay on Bed Wars on 360, like when they brought the games out and you were able to go and play. And then I went over to Java and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm terrible. Because we'd win like most games, and then I went to Java and I was losing like every single game, and it was so sad. Right, let's move this bit forward. No, because I need to do this, and then I need to have that on top, and that'll do that. I don't know how this bit's gonna work yet. Hang on. Yeah, good times. I started Minecraft on Xbox too, and it was yeah, I've got very fond memories of Xbox Minecraft. I also played a lot of Rocket League as well. Like most nights I would play Rocket League, and I got to the point where I was like decent, and then I tried to play it like not long ago, and I couldn't do anything. I could barely touch the ball. And I felt so sad and old. Right, okay, yeah, let's give that a little bit of something. Do this though, maybe. just do that. And then the same here. I think I'm going to bring this window out. Yeah, I have like so many things that I did on Xbox 360, and I can't, unfortunately my 360 died, so I don't have access to like any of my like first worlds or anything like that, but that would have been so cool to go back and like see what kind of builder I were back then and stuff. And yeah, I think I prefer the grey. I think the grey just feels more natural. Yeah, there's like a distinct line that's like under here of grey. In fact, it's more andesite than tough, but we can swap that out if we want. Right, and we'll do... And we'll get rid of... You still have your Xbox 360. Do you play on it? Like, does it get used, or... Because I kept the console, but it don't get used, unfortunately, which feels... It feels sad, but... The reason that I swapped over to Java in the first place was that... Where do I want to put this? I want to keep it here, so maybe we'll do... So we'll leave this here, and we'll just start fresh here. I forgot what I was saying now. Totally forgot what I was saying. It's in storage. There we go. Oh, that's it. The reason that I swapped over to Java is because I used to watch, this is how long ago it was when I didn't really realise that there were many other YouTubers, but I used to watch as a Stampy and iBallistic modded series that they did. And yeah, I used to watch that, and they were doing like a race to the moon. And I also watched the Yogscast race to the moon. And I was just desperate to do all those mods that they were playing. Which obviously you can't get on. You can't get on Xbox 360, unfortunately. Right, do we have another window here? No. Why would we? I kind of want to move this over a little bit. This feels like it's a little bit too close to the wall now. There we go. And yeah, all this is just a mess behind here. We'll come in here and figure this all out at a later date. Right, so we should probably move this one over too. Yeah. Oh. I miss them. I haven't watched them in years. Yeah, same. And I don't even know like if they're doing anything. But I do feel like the Minecrafters that I watch now have kind of like progressed into like Hermitcraft and things like that. I'll also watch a lot of the I also watch a lot of the other Interrealmers stream. So if you don't know, I play on a server called the Interrealms. And there's like 40 of us, and nearly all of us are creators. There's like a massive percentage of us that are like creators, and we all stream. And mostly those guys stream on Twitch. A couple of us stream on YouTube, but it's mostly Twitch. And yeah, so there's always like a stream to watch of those guys, and it's kind of nice because you're not just watching like a server that you don't have access to. It's like a server that I play on, and it's nice to like see what's happening and what's going on the server, even when I can't be on it all the time. I just felt like it was just a bit taller than the other one. I don't know. Yeah, Stampy's Lovely World. I definitely watched a little bit of that, and it was when I was like really, really first introduced to Minecraft, and I thought that it would help me. I thought that it would help me like be a better player and stuff, and it was really interesting to see what other people were doing. And then I kind of realized that a lot of the stuff that he did was kind of like it was kind of like for dramatic effect, and some things that like there was a lot of editing involved and things like that. It was still really good, but like it wasn't good when you're starting off in Minecraft and you're trying to find like tutorials to do stuff. Like I definitely built like an ethereal portal or whatever, ether portal. I definitely built one of them because Stampy told me that it was a real thing. Alright, there we go. That needs to be fixed a little bit. That right there. Yeah, this is a little bit dodgy here. Right, so we've got this, we've got that that's going down, and then we've immediately got another building here. Oh gosh. Right, okay. So this goes around here now. And then there's like enough space for 2 windows, so we might as well just copy this thing again. Where's the... Okay, so the door's here, not here. Right, okay, there we go. I feel like most people have watched Stampy at some point in their content creation journey, unless they came to Minecraft like later, which is possible too. Right, Control R. Do. Change the speed of my mouse. Not my mouse. I changed the speed in here, and I don't think it's quite right to how I'm used to it because I keep like placing blocks in the wrong place. I only watched him because of my sister. Have you got a younger sister who watched him? Yeah, I mainly watched the modded series because it was a bit more grown up. Like there was even like, I don't know, just the way that they talked, it was definitely more grown up. I even think there might have been some swearing. And it just felt like it was just aimed at an older audience. Right, okay, so we've got that bit there. Just keep plodding along and we'll get there. So this needs to go across. Right. How do we do the roof over here? So the roof is just normally like you have the cream and then you have the thing with the thing. Right, okay. Kind of like what we've got here, but we've made it this bit a little bit bigger because we had a gap in the roof. But we want to get back to like just how it looked, which was that, and then so it was cream, and then it was that, and then it was that. Okay. Oh, an older sister. Oh, okay. Did they introduce you to Minecraft to Stampy them? I'm very lapsidaisical today. I keep pressing the wrong buttons. I don't think I've fully woke up, it feels like. Possible this needs to just come down one more. So what level is this window on? This is on 84. And this is 84. So we need the deep cell like here. Yeah, she did, but I was playing Minecraft before she even showed me. Keep coming back and looking at this because, like, is it an extra lip? Yeah, it's an extra lip. So it goes to 1 and then it's an extra bit. This is messed up, this roof, a little bit, but it is supposed to be a little bit lower, I think. Oh, no, I don't know. Hey, Simon, welcome in. Simon, it's like salmon. I want to say salmon or Simon, and it's just like salmon, like put them together. Right, let's do that. This is just getting further and further out now. Yeah, because it has like a big chunk here, which is wrong. I miss the old times when me and my sister, we hardly even talk now or do anything. Oh, it's sad when like you get older and kind of like drift apart. And then it kind of like the longer and longer that you leave it, the harder and harder it gets. It feels more and more awkward, and I don't know. I might move this whole roof. I might move this whole roof a little bit, because otherwise this isn't going to make sense. Unless I move this. Oh. Right. Let me just count here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Goes in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we kind of okay. So 1, 2, 3. Not out today. But yeah, I have family that I'm not close to and family that I'm very close to. Like my sister, we kind of like make a point to keep in touch, and also she lives very close, so that makes things a little bit easier. But I don't think I could get out of touch with my sister if I tried. Like she would bash down the door. But then like I said, but then I've got other family that are just not really part of my life at all. And it's sad when that happens. Alright, I think we need to move this forward. So we've got that, and that goes that like that. This roof is so dodgy. Because it kind of feels like it should come down more below this. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, so there's actually... Should it come... It feels like it should come down below this. So what? Right, okay, I'm going to go into... I'm going to fly through some more. Okay, so it feels like it should come to, like, here. So... The good thing about using deep slate for a roof is that it just gives you like a naturally random pattern anyway. Like look up here how this is like different to over here. Ooh, you're making a bunker. Nice. I've never made a bunker. Is it like survival? Like, are you making a bunker because like you need to protect your stuff, or is it like just for fun? Like I played on a server recently that it wasn't really for me. It was kind of like an anarchy server where you had to protect your stuff. Right, okay, so there's also kind of like a really weird area here with some stairs that wrap up to here, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that in the space that we've been given. So there's like a door here, right? And then there's a balcony here with some twisty stairs going up to here. I'll worry about that later. I'll worry about that later. And I think we need to move all this over a little bit, even more, because... No, but I can't if I'm going to do that balcony. Oh, right, okay. It's for survival, but mainly fun. Alright, nice. Survival can be fun for definite. Yeah, so like I said before, I play on the Interrealms server, and it's a server where you need to kind of like you need to get to level 10 in the Discord, and you have to like go through like a little bit of a process before you can get on the server. So it just means that it's just a lot more chill. There's a lot more nicer people on there. It's not just like random people. A lot of people are content creators, and we're coming to like close to the end of the season. And we need to start thinking about what we're going to be doing for next season. So yeah, and I'm really looking forward to it because I have to think about building in survival again and what survival's going to be like. And I definitely wouldn't do anything this big. but I'm looking forward to doing a base in survival. It's always so much fun. There's like a gratification that you get. Oh gosh. Servers restarting. Every time I stream, I say to myself, I need to change that timer so it's not in the middle of when I stream. Um, but yeah, there's a certain like you feel more rewarded when you build it in survival. It's for definite. Like I'll usually build in creative and then I'll use like Matica to build it in survival. And yeah, it always feels so much better. Alright. We can figure this out. We can work it out. We can figure this out. Okay, so it needs to be at this level, right? 33, no, 34. Okay, so it's just going to be a little bit different than what I thought. I tried to make it look like the other one, but it's just not going to work. So we're going to need to just... not do that. So if you could take like one thing in a bunker, like if you only had time to like grab one thing, what would it be? I think it would be... Because obviously you're not going to be able to like use your phone and stuff. I am in the middle of making a Discord. Like I'm just setting up the bots and stuff, but it's not fully set up. But I will say that Intrams has a Discord, and I just pressed the button and it didn't work because I'm on YouTube today, not Twitch. So let me get you the link 1 second that I can put in. Server. And then I can invite you guys if you want. There we go. So that is the Interrealms Discord link. If anyone wants to join it, like it's like I said, it's a really cool place, and everyone's really nice, and we just chat and get to know each other before we kind of like let people on the server, and then we have like what we call a party, where people will get together and they will like when you join the server eventually, we'll get together and do like a little party. It's like a little welcoming party, and we'll do like a tour of the server and things like that. It's just such a cool place. I've not experienced another server like it ever. Right, we need to move this thing now. So I'm gonna do that. And we'll do that. I think that'll grab it. Nope, it won't. There we go. We just need to scroll now. I feel like this needs to move up as well. We'll fill it in. We'll fill it in. Need to move one more over. Yeah, I think that's gonna be right. And then we'll move these again. I'm gonna do them both at the same time. Maybe we keep him there because I've got to do this stupid roof thingy here. Right, there we go. Just trying to get this bit right. But yeah, I really need to get on to finishing making the Discord because I've had a few people ask me now, like, do you have a Discord I can join? And it might be cool to do, like, maybe a badge for, like, the first 100 players that join or something. You know? That might be fun. So, this is definitely too thingy. Yeah, it needs, this definitely needs to be forward more, but then if we do, this is gonna throw this off, and we just can't. We just can't. So, so I'll leave that for now, and then we'll just keep working this thing. So now we need to go up in steps like this. And get rid of this bit here. Because this is going to be kind of like where it turns the corner. Which is why it's important to get that lip right for the... like for the edge down here, because that's how we know when we're going up. Yeah, there's something really satisfying about just breaking a bunch of blocks like this. Right, now we have that shape. It's not quite the same as this one though, which is annoying. Unless I want... unless I want the roof to come out more than the thing and have a huge gap, which I don't love, but it would help us get the shape. Let's just try this one more time. Because it doesn't have like the same like gradual flick towards the end of the roof that we're looking for. That like gothic-y kind of shape. That we have over here. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. 1, 1, 2. Yeah, so it goes down to ones like over here. Hang on. It's not popping up for me. It's not popping up. That's so strange because I just generated a new Discord. Well, if you search for Interrealms on Google, Interrealms server, there's actually a website and the Discord is on there, if that helps. Right, so level 90. So we need to find level 90. 90. Okay. And is that a 1? That's a 1. Right, and then we're going to another 1. 1, 1, 1, and then a 2 and a 1. 1, and then a 2, and then a 1. And then we have the thing. So the roof kind of needs to be here. We might just have to make the roof come out further than the wall. And just accept that, unfortunately. Ooh. Use our handy smear tool. There we go. And it's going to change what we've just done as well. These are the bits that are like taking the longest when you have to redo something over and over again to get it right. But if I were to just leave it be and just not fix it, I'm gonna like come into more problems down the line because I just kept being like, oh, I'll just leave that up, fine. And then that's when it doesn't match up somewhere else. So I might need to change this up a little bit. So let's move that. How do you spell the name? Google Speak isn't working. Right, okay, here we go. Interrealms, just like that. I wonder if I can just send the link to the website. Hang on. 1 second, let me get you the link for the... Yeah, it's literally just interrealmssmp.com. And then you can like click on creators and see where all the creators are. And if you click on connect, like all of our stuff's there, like the Discord and everything. Yeah. Post that there, yeah. Okay, so we've got that side kind of matching that one, which is the important bit. And then the fact that this overlaps doesn't feel great, but it is what it is, unfortunately. Oh, it doesn't bother me. It definitely doesn't bother me. I'm probably going to come back here later and fix it. Alright, and then I can come up here and I can just be like, oh, I'll smear this all the way over here. Like that. Hello. Eleni is another player on the Interrealms who's doing amazing work over there. Building a crazy build. Oh, Eleni, look how much I've done. Hang on, let me put my head down. Oh. Okay, here we go. It's huge! I'm getting there. And I've got so much more to do! But yeah, it's getting there. It's happening. Slowly but surely. And we managed to get like the actual Wednesday bit as well. Like the actual Wednesday room, which was really important. I really wanted to get that right, and I think it looks recognizable, so I'm happy. We've got so much more to go. And detailing as well, like I'm kind of like just roughly making this. I'm gonna have to go back and like add detail and stuff. She's gonna be great. Alright, let's try to make this look a little bit less like a big thingy here. There we go, we'll do that. And then maybe this. And hopefully it won't be as noticeable that we're turning into this. Alright, now we can just try this down here. And we've got another bit of the roof done. Yay! I'm glad you found it. There we go. Okay, it's happening. It's happening. What else? So now we've got like a dropped down roof. Like another little bit, like just here. And another roof. Nice. More roofs. There we go. And I might just take this and just do this along here. And then how did we do it over here? We did like that, okay. And then there was like a cream bit underneath. So the cream bit. I think I'm gonna swap this out for this. Like that. Like so. I need a counter for how many times I misplace a block. Yeah. That is going to look a little bit weird. That's because we're going from like a thicker wall here. And we need to leave ourselves some room for this little weird thing that's gonna be put here. Yeah, let's just keep going. And then we've got another wall here. But it only goes to about here. So let's clone this wall. Control R. We controlled R too many times. Right, there we go. We over add. Right, and I think that's where we're gonna want it. Right, okay. Go. Yeah, nice. Do we move this wall back to make this feel a bit better? I think we do. That might be the solution. That might be the solution. That might work. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad. Right. Okay. And then I think we're going to have to move this wall forward as well. Alright, hang on, we can get this right. We can get this right. And then we just need to pop this back. There we go. Hey, welcome in, Devrex. Devrex. We are just, well, we'll try to recreate Nevermore Academy. I'm trying my best to get this thing done for October so I can get this up on my Patreon for people if they want to download the schematic or the world. And yeah, this is going to be Nevermore Academy. And it's kind of getting ridiculous and out of hand. Like, this is the the thing for it. um yeah. Trying my best to replicate it. I was speaking earlier and I was saying how there's like two different types of building, like when you're trying to replicate something like this, which we are, and then when you're trying to like you get your own freedom. And there's pros and cons to both, because with something like this I can kind of turn my brain off. I'm just trying to like get it as authentic as I possibly can. And then with the other one where you like try to create something from scratch, it's, you know, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of creativity, but at the same time, a lot more concentration. It's kind of harder to just turn my brain off. You need better mic, I think. You can't hear me? Am I? Is anyone else struggling to hear me? Maybe it wasn't close enough. It's like almost peaking on OBS. Right, okay, so we've got this bit here. And then we kind of need to do the roof. Okay, maybe I just needed to be a little bit closer. Right, so we've got the roof that goes up again. So it goes from 1 to 2 to 1 to 1 to 1. Yeah, so this actually needs to be shorter. I might get rid of this 2 here and then just do 1 1 1 2 2 2. And then finish there. One more. We'll do 1 more. There we go. my tones are dulcet as always. Okay, thank you, Eleni. I feel like my tones are have a hint of blocked nose at the moment. Blocked nose and coughing from the weather change. That's how I feel. Right, okay, okay. And then we just need to again follow this pattern up. So like this. And we should get like a really nice edge. But we've changed up the pattern, so we might need to tweak it a little bit. Yeah, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. That doesn't match the picture at all. Right, but let's get rid of this, and then we'll do some smearing. Okay, so this kind of like needs to go taller quicker. Because it's more of like a boxed shape. So I think we need to go like this. That kind of feels like the right shape. If anything taller, we can't do taller. Unless we do thinner. Taller. Or we just do... Okay, I think that looks better. Yeah, that matches it. And then I don't know if we can just like maybe smear this across. I don't know if that's gonna work. Hey, it's working. There we go. And now we have kind of like the shape that we want over here. Okay, so it looks like it fits another 2 windows on this side. So we'll do it to about there. And we'll take all of this and we'll just delete that. There we go, perfect. Right, instead of adding to this, I'm going to just change this top block to be the steep slate so we can get the same pattern as up there as well. It's definitely the kind of build that you need to, like I said, turn your turn your brain off and like watch something in the background because it's just such a big build. Yeah. We have a smaller box here, and then we have like a chimney on top. But I've done so many chimneys, I feel like I can just like maybe take one of these chimneys and put it on top. And then this comes down a little bit further, and we have yet another one. We have like yet another like little roof here. Okay, so let's do that now. So this comes down like a little bit more. Smear tool. It match up to a window. No, it doesn't. Yeah, matches up to about there. Okay, so there's actually not a window here because the roof's going to get in the way, so we can actually remove this. So, yeah, I've been thinking a lot about what my survival build is going to be on Interrealms, and I'm really excited about it. I've used over 300 diamonds for armor and not even halfway done. What? Why? What are you? Are you making like different sets of armor, like trimmed ones and stuff? Okay, so we have another roof here, and I'm going to try to line this up as best I can. Okay, so this roof, weird one. And then it actually like ends here. Okay, so we need to make this match now. Something like that. I'm filling the bunker with diamond armor. Nice. I've got a friend on Interrealms who is like obsessed with armor and trimming and things like that. And in his Nether tunnel, he's just done like a ton of like rows of different armor. And yeah, it looks so cool. Let's do this. Now, I need this to come out enough that it makes sense, but then it also... kind of keeps with the thing that we've been doing. Alright, that's just gonna have to work, I think. Right. Do that. Because the shape's not quite what I want. Ooh, unless... yeah, because I don't think this actually quite meets the wall. There's just like a tiny little bit that's kind of like an overhang. So if I do this... okay, yeah, that works. That works. Grab one of these as well. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to like getting back to doing like more like playthrough videos, like the let's play videos, which is usually what I do on Interrealms. But I've not played on there in a little while. I did some big projects and I kind of got like just a little bit burned out. Just a little bit. How have I done that? I got a little bit burned out, and I've been having like a little bit of a break from doing those types of videos. And the problem is when I go on to play on Interrealms, I kind of have the mindset of like, oh, this is going to be like an episode. So when I build, I feel guilty that I'm not recording. But I'm doing so much streaming that I kind of like, I need a little bit of a break from recording those Let's Play videos. But I'm looking forward to getting back into it when the new season starts, if that makes sense. I'm on the wrong tool here. So I do, for anyone that likes the Let's Play series, I do have a plan to make more episodes. It just might, I might do like a wrap up episode and like do some bits that I've been wanting to finish, like the interior for my build. I really want to do that. And then I might call it and have a little break until next season. Right, so we've got this little bit here. And this actually goes into another wall over here, which matches up kind of with this one. So this is gonna go further out. And then just at the top of here, there's kind of like a, just at the top of here, but in one, this is like a balcony. Like so. This is just, so we'll smear this across. It's quite a big balcony. We're going to have 3 windows along there. That's kind of how I'm sizing up the walls, by how many windows are on it, and I know roughly how big the windows are. Right, okay. And then the balcony finishes, and then there's a really weird shaped roof here. And then this section's kind of like done. Okay, so we have a weird thing, and I think I can borrow it from over here because we have. Let's borrow this. Hang on. We have a tall tower that's got these on it. And it's got the same gargoyles on. It's got the same windows, the same everything. So I think I'm just going to borrow it from here. Hey, Floppy. How you doing? Welcome in. No, we don't want to move. We want to clone. And I think we want to clone to about here. Right, and then I'll include this bit and this bit. So I'm just pressing my middle mouse button here to include these bits down here. And then once it feels like it's all in, let's count this bit as well. There we go, like that. And then we scroll once we're happy, and then we can move it all over here. I was here a few weeks ago, but I changed my name. What was your name before, if you don't mind me asking? I'm going to do a control arm. We're going to lift this up, and we'll just get rid of all the bits that we don't need. And we'll try line this up okay. File gaming. Philly gaming? Oh, okay. Well, welcome back. Floppy is more fun. I'll give you that. Right, so I want to line this up. So I'm going to try to just look at the roof and where it lines up with. And I think this is actually kind of perfect. Okay, we just need to make sure we've got equal distance on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Like that. I gotta go read. Totally understandable. Oh, we were talking before about what you would take in a bunker. And my answer was going to be the Harry Potter series. Because if you don't have a phone, if you don't have like access to anything, like I have all my audiobooks, which would probably work in a bunker because you don't need internet for it. But I would still take like my Harry Potter series. I feel like it would help me kill some time. Ooh, can I line this up with that? Yeah, the roof's probably not going to be the same, but there we go. And then there's actually not that much of a balcony. And there's like 2 windows there. Okay, yeah. I think this is right. There we go. So we've plopped that there. And then we're going to remove this because we don't need this. But this is kind of like what I meant about the whole build is kind of like made up of like different bits of itself, but just changed slightly. And they probably did that like for editing in the editing room when they were making this. When they were making this build. Because I've looked it up and it's kind of like Hogwarts. It's kind of like a mismatch of different builds. It's not like a full-on thing. Like, unfortunately, this build doesn't exist somewhere. It's kind of like a mashup of different builds that already exist. I feel like we need to... Right, I've done that bit. And then we need to kind of like figure out where this goes. I feel like it would connect to whatever it is that I've done here. I don't know if it's gonna match. So well, let's do this and see if it will. Kind of match. So we've got 2, 2, 2. Oh. Okay, so the cool thing about the smear tool is that you can go in one direction, but then you can also move it up a direction like that if you wanted to. So that if you accidentally misclick it, yeah, you can get some funny shapes. So it doesn't quite match up, which is a shame. Just means we need to get rid of this bit. Sure, we're not deleting out what we want to keep. And then get rid of that. Okay, and now we want to mirror in this direction, I think. Adjust this bit. And then... do we have that? Okay, yeah. There we go. I told you this was like a kind of a bit of a boring build because it's not boring, but it's just so repetitive. But it's really important that we get the roof down because then the rest of the build kind of comes a little bit easier. Which I know is a little bit like backwards to how you normally do builds. You normally put the roof on last. But it's important to get that shape. Right. So we've got that now. And we know that goes across there. And it actually comes out the other side as well. You know what? I think this needs to be way over here. I don't know why I've done it so far away. Yeah, this needs to be like way like here. Closer maybe? Yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine. Just check him. Right. Okay. So now we've got that bit. So like we've been streaming now for like I don't even know how long. An hour and 40 minutes, and like this is all that we've done. And it might feel like a lot, but it's like it's not. It's really not. It's really slow. um Right, so now let's smear this all the way over here. If we get this right, then we can smear this too. Like so. So for this here, it's kind of grayish. Is this what's it called? Balcony? And it's kind of a bit like this. Comes out. Golden Gorilla, hello. I want to say welcome back. I feel like I recognize that name. I'm not sure. Have we got an even center or an odd center? There we go. Perfect. I love it when that happens. I love it when it works out perfectly. Right, so, bit of a weird balcony here. And then, like, every so often... Should we say every 2? It's like... middle bit there. 2 isn't gonna work. Every 3? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's not gonna work either. Okay, so just random then. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a 2 in the middle. That'll be fine. I did sub 2, so maybe that's why. Yeah, that might be what it is. And thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. So I think we're gonna go for a tough kind of thing here, and maybe some andesite. Maybe some andesite. We'll do that and that. Oh wait. Yeah, so my plan was to build this whole thing on stream, but you can see like how much progress we've made in nearly 2 hours. If I were to make this like and spend 2 hours on it a week, it would not be done for October, and I think that'd be really sad if people couldn't like have it for October. How do I want to do this? It's definitely a gap. So do I want to do like... Oh. Maybe I just do this. And then instead of a full block, maybe we just go half block. We'll leave that a full block. And then it's down here. Like so. Okay, that's an alright, decent-ish wall for what we wanted. Except I will say that I feel like this comes further down. Like so. Right. Now, what is left? Alright, so we need to put like just like a basic floor in here. So let's just smear this. And we could put gravel here. I've been doing gravel for like all the rooftops and stuff. It's just felt right because that is what you would get on a roof, gravel. At least these open ones like this. Yay! There we go. And then a bit of a door here, which is kind of like a big circular door. Like so. It's kind of got like... that around it, and then it's just... let's just do trapdoors. There we go. Um, yeah, I don't think that's quite right. More like this. Okay, yeah, again, this is another like really basic one. And I'll probably come back and tweak this a little bit. I just want to get all the details in, like not the detail, the shapes, and then I'm going to come back and kind of like detail it. And I might just put a door in here. Like that. Like so. For now. Yeah, and then we've got... okay, so this needs to go this bit here. So satisfying. It's so satisfying breaking blocks like this. And then let's copy this. Put it on the other side. Okay, so let me get it straight so it lines up with there, okay? Right, and then let's do flip. And now we know that that's right. Oh, damn it, I moved it. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Then we have to smear this over here, and we've got another 2 window here. So just eyeballing it. I think maybe like that. Yeah, just like that. Okay, and now this roof up here is kind of like coming to like the more that we add around here, the more that we're like gonna join up and hopefully finish on this side. Unfortunately though, there's no pictures of that side of the build. Like there's none whatsoever. I've gone through both seasons and I took every screenshot I could manage of every time that this build would like came on the screen, and there is just nothing over here. And there's a lot of trees and stuff, and I think that's why, because it just didn't make sense for there to be cameras over here. So we might have to make up this little bit ourselves. But apart from that little bit over there, this is going to be like as authentic as possible, hopefully. And I kind of need to mess with this roof right here, because this comes down nicely and this one does not. So let's fix that now. Can we smear this over there like that? I feel like that's how it would be. So this would still like the roof would still be there, wouldn't it, on this side of the build? Maybe it just goes down sooner. Yeah, let's just make it go down sooner. There's gonna be a lot of cleaning up to do on this as well, which is not my favorite thing to do. We're gonna have to go around and like all these little bits here, like this doesn't need to be here. And we just need to pop, pop, pop. Like do that like that. Okay, and then that kind of makes sense. And we'll do the same over here, I think. On this whole section. And we'll flip. Like so. No, because that won't match up with that. And that is definitely smaller. Hmm. Just thinking here. Yeah, I don't think that will be right. Yeah, because... Yeah, that wouldn't be right. We're just going to have to kind of... Probably copy this little bit here. And bring it over here. Like so. And then just do that. Hmm. I don't want it to be... Okay, so that matched up with that wall, so this needs to be lower. Need to make this kind of feel a bit better than it did before when it was just flat. I might just do that. And then remove this. Like so. Like that, that's not too bad. Once I make that one the lowered one, and then I don't have to change this at all. There we go. I really wish we had some music. The one that's like a good thing about Twitch is you can play your own music. Alright, that's fine. That's not too bad. Is it perfect? No, but it's not too bad. Oh, it's really gonna annoy me. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Or I'll come back and change it later. Either way, one or the other. Because this should be like this then. And then this should be like this. And either way, you're going to get a weird flat bit. That doesn't work. Okay, there we go. There we go. I'm not going to touch it anymore. It's kind of the same. It's best you're going to get for this bit anyway. Now, for this, we have 2, 2. We have another 2, 2, 2, 2. Another 2. I think we're gonna finish this roof off maybe, and then I think I'm gonna go for some food because I have not eaten yet, and it is like 2:25. So now we come into the one, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 2 steps. So is that included the roof? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not including the roof bit, you've got. Oh, this is a 3. Okay, that's 3, and then 1, 2, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it's ones. And then it's ones here. You want a 2 and a 1. Nice. And then 2, 1. Okay, where have I gone wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But that's where the. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the 12, including the roof. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's including the roof. We've got 1 and then a 2. A 1 and then a 2. So this needs to be a 2, and then this needs to be a 1. But then it's not far enough down. Because then it'd be like here, no? We're missing something. I think we're missing a 1 here. One, 1, 2, 1. And there we go. Right. That should be right now. And now we can just flip it over to the other side as well. Hopefully. Right. So let's clone just 1 section and bring it over here. We'll put it right up to here, I think. And then we just need to get smearing all the way over here. Okay. So we've added this whole section here. All this bit here, and this bit, and this bit, and that's what we've done today. And we corrected a little bit of the roof over here as well, which has been, which we've done all right. But yeah, like I said, definitely, I think this is a good example of why I can't do this just on stream. There's something wrong over here as well. Through it here. That's gonna have to be for another time. Yes, but if anybody wants this build when it's finished, it will be on my Patreon, which I believe is on my YouTube. And it's just Cobble K, which is the same everywhere. I've got the same name everywhere. There's no changes, no dashes, no nothing. Just Cobble K 1B. And yeah, when this is finished, I'll be putting it up on there for people to look around at and judge and compare to the real Nevermore. And I'm hoping to get this done in like the next week or so, or at least get to a place where I can start adding like all the trees and stuff. Because I want to fully make this. I want this to be fully like you almost can't find any differences when you look at a picture next to it side by side. Even though, you know, it's Minecraft. It's Minecraft. But thank you for joining me, everyone. I can't read out, unfortunately. I can yawn, though. I can't read out, but I can suggest that you guys go check out the other Interelmas because they're all fantastic. They're all doing crazy stuff. I think the Caffeinated Owl, I think she's, if you wanted to search her name, she's on the Interrealms at the moment building. And we have the lovely Eleni. If you look up in chat, you can see her name. And she does all the stuff. She does all the streaming and stuff. So yeah, go check them out. And I will see you all next time. It will probably be Thursday or Tuesday. And the next time I pop on. And I'll see you all later. So bye.